Welcome back, everyone. This market is getting ready for the main event tomorrow. Let's go take a quick look at how the S&P 500 landed in today's market on the heels of yesterday's trade. And of course, this market is getting ready for potential volatility, but a message underlying all that's happened last week and this week is starting to get clearer and clearer. Growth is a problem. Treasury yields are less likely going to go up, policy-related wise, and even trading-wise. Bonds continue to deliver a powerful punch, saying, hey, I'm here, and growth is perhaps not as near. We've got a channel on the screen that works very similar to a bell curve. The center of this channel is a best fit line. It goes back to October of 2022 when the S&P and indices made their bottoms. Now, where we are in this channel is making a poor higher high versus the prior, after pulling back just really through the center rather than to the bottom of the channel. And dynamics there imply less likely that we're going to hold up. More likely, you can see this market have a bit of a struggle to hold up here, but tomorrow's data is quite polarized. And the CPI data, inflation data, has a better than fair chance from my perspective to come in a little warmer. Now that could be the culprit of a bounce in the dollar, a little shine coming off of silver, gold, equities as well, a little pause in long duration bonds. But on the opposite side of that, one must think that the incumbent president has had a birdie chirping in Powell's ear. He did December. That was the Powell pivot, you may remember. And this is probably a good time to preempt a potential consumer crunch and take advantage of the time or calm before the storm from my perspective. And what does that mean? Is Powell, without having enough data to substantiate that things are going to go, likelier to say something more about that as other central banks take rates down to deal with a growth problem? Well, here's the dollar. It's at the center of all of this, folks. The way we look through the lens of our tools as we move through this week and really into the end of last week to help us with this week, we identified from a technical signaling basis that we've got a better than fair chance to have a resumption of this sequence of green. It's in play right now. Now, it's coming with the market up at all-time highs. And of course, if inflation's coming down, that's great. But if it's above the zero line, we know that it's still adding pressure. I just don't see how a sustainable, happier print from inflation can come out unless it's actually going to run negative, which is not a likely outcome. So for me, I'm looking at a market using these incredible tools and my WealthCharts membership to define whether or not the sequence of signals is happening again. That would be the champion trend pack sequence of signals. So I need something like a wealth signal, a range breaker, breakout forecasters. And in tomorrow morning's market at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, if we see some of those things, and in conjunction with that, if we also see the dollar come down and markets are lifting off first thing, we got to be a little bit more cautious as we get towards Powell. The technicals are still positive. The fuel is running a little dry, but there's enough at this stage to take us to a place that I think has a natural magnetic attraction. And you'll see it when I pop it up on the screen here. It's the top of that linear regression channel. And when we get up to that point, it's like being at the tail of a bell curve. For an entire market to sustain up there, day over day, week over week, it's an unlikely outcome. It really is a spot for things to slow down, if not turn down. Now, I'm of the opinion that we see the CPI data potentially push us down. Powell comes back and takes us up, and I am looking at that magenta flight path as the more mathematically sound one. Now, we can do as much as we want to figure out likely outcomes using a variety of tools. Well, I'm going to zip right back over to Rob's Champion Trend Pack Toolkit, because it's the one that's won competitions. It's the one that's proven successful much more often than not in my own trading. And of course, as Rob wins trading competitions. There's a lot going on the screen, but I think that we can summarize the entirety of the video in this, on this slide, on this chart, and it's a day tomorrow that either policymakers provide job-owning support about effectively cutting rates, or it's a day tomorrow where they fail at doing so. Unlikely for them to really toe the line on we got to stay firm. Why? Well, that can cause a consumer issue earlier than it may actually be due in market. So Powell's in a bit of a box. If there's a surprisingly stone cold print on the consumer inflation price index tomorrow, consumer price index, we then have potential blast off and the Fed doesn't have to work as hard. Nonetheless, a sustainable higher high. Well, do we have signals? There's your TRP signal from a handful of sessions ago. Price actions broken through negative, momentum shifts, and there's the target one sitting at 54.89, roughly 105 points higher than where we're trading right now. That's a $10 move up on the SPY. Now, is that a realistic outcome? Well, $10 higher on the SPY from where we've kind of ended the day today takes us up to about $547. Let's go close it off right over there. $10 higher than where we've ended off, about $547, hits the top of that channel and more, which is not a sign of strength. It's a sign of folks selling into the strength as mentioned. And we'd be above the top of our weekly pivot range, opening the door for down as a likelier outcome. Now, the twists and turns in between markets making new highs, trying to figure out whether or not they want to start building a base to get ready to go higher, or is it a topping process? The inner workings of a market that is making more moves is a market that's providing more opportunity. Why are traders missing these opportunities? Well, Stacy is going to be joining us tomorrow. Stacy Brovitz is our options guru, going to come to the table and share with you his strategies on how he's able to spot options trades that other traders will never really ever see. A straightforward, clear presentation on how he approaches the market using powerful tools and tactics to help lead a group within our community, and of course, teach them, show them how he's able to extract value from markets even as they're up against all-time highs. I'm super excited about his presentation. It starts tomorrow, Wednesday, June the 12th. We're going to be starting right there at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Simply go and click the link in your email or at the end of this video. You can also go to becomeabettertrader.com/yes. We'll see you at Stacy's session. Starts at 10 a.m. Eastern time sharp tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Have a wonderful rest of your day, folks. Bye for now.